Well, today we're back at Willis's shop doing the 93 Camaro. I think he's got enough parts. We can finish this 5.3 up. Now, last time we put new rod bearings in it and torqued everything down on this end. He just has that oil pan on there just to have it on there, but we put the cam in it, put the timing chain and stuff on it. We never even took the oil pump off. We're going to leave the stock oil pump on, but now we're going to put some lifter and trays in. Woo woo. What do you think about it, Willis?
Good morning. We're going to get this motor together today, finally. It's been a while, but I finally got everything to put her together.
All right.
Yeah,
there's where we're at. And so we're going to do the lifters and trays next. He's had the lifters soaking. On these lifters up towards the front, you'll see they got a flat side. See, top and bottom on the flat side. Those will go up in the trays, flat side, and we'll stick those up in the trays. And then we'll stick them down in the engine there. Just shoving them up in there.
They ain't gonna shove.
They better. There you go. Flat side, flat side, flat side, flat side. Just like that right there. Boom. We'll put them all in there like that. They say you don't have to soak lifters, but I always do. Why not? Get oil all over them. Over here, and you're upside down. I don't think it matters which way the lifter tray goes in, but I always put this notch at the top to clear this, and then those two notches at the bottom to better oil drain back. Now, getting all those to line up sometimes can be a pain, but once you get it all lined up, it should flop right down in there. Had a sore throat. There we go, just like that. Boom shakalaka. And you put the bolt in there, and I just tighten it up. I don't know what the torque is on that. I don't guess it really matters. Once you put the head on, that ain't going nowhere anyway, with or without the bolt. All right, Willis is setting the torque wrench to 106 inch-pounds. We are going to torque them. They're 106 inch-pounds.
Can you see that?
They're all in.
That's 106.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Right there.
Yeah, that's it. All right. We're both blind. We have to use the phone and zoom in. But yeah, we'll get these torqued down to 106 inch-pounds. This has already cleaned the head and block surfaces for the head. So next thing we're going to do is smack the head gaskets on there and then throw the heads on and run the bolts in. Make sure we got the dowel pins either on the block or the head. They're on the block on all four corners. And then the gasket, they'll usually say front. They'll usually say front up here, but if they don't say front, you notice how this side has the holes? One side of the gasket have holes in it. The side with the holes has to go towards the back. So usually it says front right there, but it doesn't. It says it up there. But see the holes in the back? Those holes ain't in the front. So I usually like to put the lettering up. So we'll put this one on this side. It's like that right there. There we go, lettering up front. Solid here, two holes in the back. The heads, he got them all cleaned up. These are the heads we did the springs on in a past video. And then in the past video, we also changed the rod bearings. We didn't change the crank bearings, but we changed the rod bearings. On the dowel pins there. Willis missed completely. There we go. All right, there we go. We can throw some bolts in her. Then we can throw this one on. We'll put the head gasket on this one too. I'm just watching while Willis does all the work. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah, all right, so these have two different size bolts. These are the short ones on the outside, and the rest of these are all the same length. Up to what, 2003? Yeah, and then 2004 up, they're all the same size. And these up here are shorter also, but anyway, this is the Gen 3. Two short ones, and then all these are the same length, and then got the short ones up here. And then on 2004 and up, these are all the same size. I believe how it goes. And then on these right here, the longer ones, they go 22 foot-pounds. They all go 22 foot-pounds on these. And then they all go 90 degrees a second pass. And then the third pass, these outside ones go 50 degrees, and then these go 90 degrees. That's how we're going to do it, and we'll follow a pattern. We'll start in the middle, and then do like a U pattern and a U pattern. That's the way we're going to do it. Then we'll do these last. These holes dead in, down in there. If you get anything down in there, your bolt won't tighten all the way up. So we took everything back off. We're going to blow these holes out, make sure there's nothing down inside there, because like I said, if there's something down inside there, the bolt won't tighten all the way up. So we're going to blow all these out and start over. And we're going to put a light coat of oil on the bolts too, not to get too carried away, because if that oil gets down in that hole dead ends, your bolt won't tighten up all the way either. Alright, so we don't have an angle thing. So 22 foot-pounds on all of them. Here. Then we just did a U pattern.
So the 22 foot-pounds was the first pass. And then we did them all at 90 degrees for the second pass. And then here's the third pass.
And we did 90 degrees. That one we did 50, 90, 90, 50. Then we'll do the other side. And we don't have an angle thing, but 90 degrees is boop. And then the 50, that's about 45. We just guessed at it best we could. The 90's not hard to do though. You get the wrench perfectly this way, then you end up right here. So did 22 foot-pounds, and then we did them all 90. And then we did them all 90 again, except for these outside ones we did 50. We'll go ahead and put the top ones in, 22 foot-pounds. Actually, probably should have done that after we did them all 22 foot-pounds, but whatever. These go last anyway. These are all torqued down. And I double-checked with a torque wrench just to see what they'd go to. They were all over 70 foot-pounds. I stopped right there. I didn't want to go any further, but we put the knock sensors in. We torqued those down to 15 foot-pounds, not much. Then we'll go ahead and put the valley tray in with the new grommets. So this type of oil pan that has that spot just to clear the crank, these truck windage trays aren't going to fit. So you gotta, like here's the rear, the front, you have to cut it off right through here. And then you gotta cut it down the side a little too for the pickup tube, because the pickup tube comes up through here. So we're gonna cut it right there where it's marked, just to put a round on that. It can go straight across on that side, but up here we got to go down, and it don't really have to go down that far. We'll probably end about right there, and we'll show you why when we put that on here in a minute. But we're just going to take a angle grinder to cut off wheel and cut that out. If you have one of these oil pans where it comes straight up off of this and isn't like that, you can get away with running that full windage tray. But this pan that's got that on it, you can't. It'll hit the pan will hit the windage tray. All right, there we go. That's the finished product. That should clear. We'll put the pan on there, just make sure. All right, there we go. It clears, so it's sitting flat.
Clear.
That'll work.
No.
Go ahead and put all the windage tray bolts in, except for that one right there, because that's where the dipstick tube is going to be. And we cut this out like that because the windage or the dipstick tube is going to come up this way, and you'll see in a minute. Dipstick tube, old pickup tube. We're going to put them all in except for that one.
For that one.
Our oil pickup O-ring, we lubed it up really good in oil, and then we're going to put this on here like it's right here. I'm going to have two hands. Carefully put the O-ring and the oil pickup up inside there and put the bolts in. Snug those up, and see, this is why we cut this out. We probably didn't have to go that far back, but see, it would hit right there. So we cut that out like that. Now we'll snug these up, and then we'll tighten that up, and tighten all the rest of these up for the windage tray, and then we can put the oil pan on. On these oil pans, when you get them, make sure those bolts are tight before you go putting it on there. So we'll make sure those are tight first. And we're measuring this then we're going to measure it on the pan just to see, because we want this about 3/8 to 1/4 inch off the bottom of the pan. So there's no way to adjust this. We just need to make sure that that's where it's at.
Do we got to take that off? Or?
No, we just need that straight edge across here. Okay. We had before 5 inch.
5 and 5/8, 7/8.
Yeah, it's right at 1/4 inch. You add the gasket, it's going to be 1/4 inch. So we're good there. It's going to, after you add the gasket, it's going to be about 1/4 inch. See, we're at 5 inches before. Add the gasket, and we'll have about 1/4 inch of clearance from the pickup tube to the bottom of the pan. That'll be perfect. Go ahead and make sure these are tight. Then we'll go ahead and throw this in. Make sure there's no crap in here.
I need to clean it off.
I like to go ahead and find these gaskets don't line up perfect. So I'll find the holes that don't line up and I'll put a bolt through them. Then I'll put the gasket or the pan on. So we'll go ahead and throw the pan on with the gasket. All right, so this was over here and the oil pan was hitting this. So I kind of pried it over a little as he loosened that bolt and retightened it. So we'll try again. All right, there we go. It clears now. Now we'll torque these down, crisscross pattern, starting in the middle, going out. 22 foot-pounds. These rear ones, they go to 106 inch-pounds. We're going to wait on those because we're going to take this rear cover off and change the seal in it. And just like on my cheap oil pan, it's hitting right there, right up in here. Yeah, right there. It's hitting right there. So we're going to have to grind that down, and it's hitting right there too. We're going to have to grind these areas down a little bit. eBay pans, those good old eBay pans need a little massaging, I guess. I had to massage the one on my 5.3 and Chris's 6.0 also in that same area. The pan wants to hit right at the back of this windage tray in this bolt area. That's where it wants to hit on both sides. It took some grinding, but it's on. Now we're gonna torque it down, starting in the middle, do a crisscross pattern. Just remember, that's not a bolt hole. There's a hole for it, but there's not one there. But we'll torque it down, start here, 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 here. Start in the middle and go out. 22 foot-pounds. These go to 106 inch-pounds, but we're going to hold off on those just yet.
Double check this.
And then we're going to make sure this is tight. It's not. Oh, Lord, Lord. Surprise, surprise. Then we'll put this stuff on. Tighten that up. Now we're going to put this gasket like this right here. And then this piece right here with the 2 bolts. I reckon we'll flip her back over, and we need to get some valley cover grommets. We'll have to go to the parts store for that. But I guess we can go ahead and put the push rods and rocker arms in. Yeah. We got her flipped over. We're going to drop the push rods right down in these holes. Right down into the lifter. On all of them, each side. And these are the Chromoly 7.4 stock length, 80 thousandths.
Are you short one?
Nope.
Then they give us the next one?
That looks like it, don't they?
Yeah.
Wobby. That's something.
Yep, there's 8 of them there.
Yep, 2, 4, 6, 8. And if you don't mill the head or you don't change the gasket thickness, the pusher rod should stay the same size. Now, when you go to milling heads and changing gasket thicknesses and decking the block and stuff like that, that's when your push rod length's going to change. And we'll check the push rod length. It's supposed to be a 1/2 to 1.5 turn from 0 lash, and we'll check that to 22 foot-pounds. Just going to throw the push rods on all together, or rocker arms on all together, just like that. I got the piece across there, and then the rocker arm just sits right on top of them. And line them up in the hole there. And ta-da! So we can tighten these all up to 0 lash. We're going to put this one on the base lobe of the cam, which means the rocker is going to come up and down on both of them. And then we're going to go from 0 lash to 22 pounds and see how many times it turns, just for, you know, just for craps and giggles, they say. Willis said the motor won't turn over. Well, the valves ain't open and the spark plugs are all in it. It did not want to turn over. So yeah, it's holding air good inside there, that's for sure. There we go. So I turned this one over, and those new lifter trays, I really had to push down on these. But anyway, it came up, it went down, came up, went down, and then now I'm gonna tighten these up just to where there's no lash left. Yeah. About 0 lash right there, and do this one the same way. We're just trying to get the up and down out of it. That was a spongy one where it ain't bled up yet. And then from that 0 lash, we're going to count how many turns it takes, and it should take 1/2 to 1.5 turns, and that'll tell us if our push rod length's right. If it takes too many turns, we need a shorter push rod. If it doesn't take enough turns, we need a longer push rod. Yeah. Think about it. I know that sounds backwards, but it's not. Just think about it. So if this push rod's way up here, I'd have to tighten it really far to get it to set down on this. So I'd need if it took too many turns, I'd need a shorter one. And then if it didn't take enough, which means I have a short push rod, it tightened down on this really quick, then I need a longer push rod. Well, they both took 1 1/4 turns, which is in spec. It's 1/2 to 1.5 turns. So we'll go ahead and torque these all down to 22 inch-pounds, and then I'll turn the motor over a little and then go through them again, turn the motor over a little, go through them again, yada, yada, yada. Just to make sure. Well, what I'm going to do, this one's on the base lobe, it's torqued. I'll put this one on the base lobe and do it, etc. I torqued down the rocker arms. So really there's nothing else we could do, because we can't do no more of this because we need knock sensor grommets. $15 each for them grommets. That's crazy. It's a parts store. Plus they're all out anyway. And then before we can put this on, which he's just got it on there because he wants to see this pretty Pontiac blue. But we need a LS1 balancer, because we're going to put all LS1 front stuff on it because it fit that car perfect. So we need that. I use the balancer to line up the sill and the cover for the front, but we need the grommets for the valley tray, and we can't put the intake on without that, blah, blah, blah. So we're at a stopping point, but really not a lot left to do. We're going to do the front cover, the rear cover, new sills. Need knock sensor grommets, then we can put the intake on it. Yeah, and then we can put all the front on it. Once we get it all together, we can put the transmission on it. We can take it off there and put the transmission on it. Then we can go ahead and set it on the K-member and put that K-member up on some dollies. And then we'll lift that one up, take the K-member, drop it down, then we'll slide the motor and all right back up under there. That's the plan, but we're at a standstill today, so we're done for today. What do you think, Willis?
I think we done good. I wish we had our parts. I'd like to got the intake on it and water pump and all that.
Well, you can set the valley tray and set the intake on there. Take a picture of it.
I'm going to set it on there and see what it's going to look like and stuff.
See what it looks like. Those torque down to 106 inch-pounds, I think. You can use the torque wrench over there, but yeah, we'll get y'all a picture of it just kind of together. And then, yeah, until we meet again, y'all have a good day. You're supposed to make fancy noises when you do that.
No, you're recording. I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Wow!
There you go, Willis. All right. Well, mine's the balancer. That's what it's going to look like. Pontiac blue.
Don't look too bad, does it?
No.
It ain't gonna look that bad.
Nope.
I'll get everything on there.
Yes, sir.